I completely changed my whole desk setup. I went from an L-shaped desk where there was room on my desk but also took up too much room in my office to now a more minimalistic and stylish approach with the sit-stand desk from Flexispot. And no, this is not one of those sponsored videos that you hear all the time from these YouTubers. I legit had to spend dollar for dollar on all of this, and I want to make sure that I'm able to show you guys that you can do it too at a good price. So to start, I went with Flexispot's E8 desk that I got from Amazon. I don't think they offer that on their website, but it's just one of those things where they offer it on Amazon and I was able to do payments on it. I got it for a good deal, which I think they're still running that deal currently as I'm recording this video. The reason why I went with Flexispot over, say Vivo or those other brands that are a little more cheaper is because of its track record. They were one of the only options that offered a bamboo top, which I wanted. My previous desk was just a black top, and it was kind of like just wood laminate that was just kind of like, it brought dark vibes in the room, and I wasn't really enjoying that. Like it didn't bring life into the room, so that's why I went with bamboo. It was also different. I wanted to approach a different way of a desk, which is not having wood all the time, so I went with bamboo. And I have to say bamboo was the best move, honestly, because it still complements all the different shades of brown like you see on my desk currently, and I honestly like it. It's very durable. It's a little bit lighter than the wood option. Now it is fairly heavy, but I went with the 72 inch by 30. So it's pretty big, but I have no complaints so far. It looked great whenever it was sent. No dents, scratches, whatever the case may be. And the installation process was very easy. It took me about maybe 30, 40 minutes. My girlfriend was helping me as well, but she was just handing me stuff. She was just screwing in some stuff with the Allen wrench. But other than that, I mean, really easy to build. The only thing that took the longest was the cable management. And that's one thing that I do want to stress you guys is with cable management, I have learned that it doesn't have to be pretty. You just got to make sure that whenever you're looking at it from a straight view, you don't see no cords hanging. Me, underneath my desk, I would show you guys, but let's just start, I got a big little package that I bought from Amazon. And by the way, anything that I mentioned in this video, I'll make sure I'll put it in the description. Anyways, moving on. This is all being powered by my desktop computer, which is a CyberPower that I got about a year or two ago. And it has a i9 processor with a 4070 graphics card. It's mainly just for gaming. I use it for gaming. I also use it for whenever I work at home. And that's what it's a great addition to the desk. I'm able to bring more colors into here. Like, for example, I have, Christmas colors because Christmas is around the corner. And right next to it, I have my PlayStation 5. So I'm a gamer. I love to play my games, and I got to make sure I have that here. Alongside all of that, I do have my MacBook Pro. It is an M1 Max, 32 gigabyte, 16 inch. It's a big thing, but that's what I use for all my video editing, photo editing, things of such. Really enjoy that MacBook. I know that M4s just came out, but that MacBook is still going strong. Renders fast enough for me. If I need something done, get it done on there, and it does the job. Another thing I was very excited to purchase was a monitorizer. And this monitorizer that I went with, I don't know how to say the name, Aothia, however you say that, I think was probably like a great purchase. Given it was about 50, 60 bucks, but when it comes to all the other monitorizers that are a little more expensive, this is definitely a budget-friendly option. I guess you could say budget-friendly. It makes the desk look super stylish. It gives that, two-tone color because it's like an oak wood, so it's not more so bamboo. It's a more lighter shade of tan, which I just love about this setup. And it doesn't all have the same color, as you can see. The cork legs are more like a light shade of brown, while the top is more of an oak. It is great, and the installation on that was super easy. It was literally just popping in the little cork legs, just that's it. One thing that I did not know I needed, but I absolutely need, and this is just for my purpose, but I also recommend, is the Anker Prime 250 watt charging station. Now, the great thing about this is that it eliminates all the cords that you have coming across your desk, or that you have to, tuck underneath the desk so the cords aren't just everywhere, you know what I mean? With the Anker Prime, it has 4 USB-C ports on the front and 2 USB-A ports on the side, alongside with a knob that you can be able to adjust priority for certain devices. So say you have your MacBook, tablet, and phone all in there at once, but you want your MacBook to have more of the wattage coming to it. Well, you can be able to do so on the Anker Prime, and it also has an LCD screen. They do have another model, which is just a 200 watt, which is perfectly fine. It doesn't have the screen or anything like that, which If you're not really a tech snob, the screen is not needed. I got one for my girlfriend for her work from home station. Great thing. It's 200 watts, so it's more than enough to be able to plug in a MacBook or a laptop, as well as, you know, phone, whatever the case may be. But the great thing about the Anker Prime 250 watt is you're gonna be able to see the wattages that are output. You know what I mean? I like to see that stuff. I think it adds a stylish look. On top of it all, it is also a clock. So whenever the screensaver comes on, you can adjust it to however you like. You can either keep it on or you can have a clock show up, which is super nice. And it also has its own app that you can connect to via Wi-Fi. And in that app, you're able to just do more configurations to the wattage, pretty much what you can do on the screen. Super neat little charging station. I love it. I think it's necessary for pretty much all minimalistic builds if you don't want cords running all over the place. And I personally stamp Anker. I have a lot of Anker products, so why not? Now, let's talk about the keyboard and mouse setup. So the keyboard I went with was the Aula, I believe you pronounce it, and that is just a mechanical keyboard. And the reason why I went with this mechanical keyboard over my last one is honestly the stylish look. It has RGB on it. You can't go wrong with RGB, so I was able to match it with my PC, which is nice. So it's got, you know, red and green, Christmas colors, you know what I mean? On top of all that, it's hot swappable. For those who don't know what that means, hot swappable pretty much means you can change the switches on there, which is that little sound that you hear whenever you click a keyboard, whether it's clicky or tactile, whatever the case may be. You could change that out without doing any soldering. You can also change the keycaps on there as well. And one of the great things about this one is this is a budget-friendly option, which is about $60, which is pretty good for if we're talking about keyboard. And not to mention, the sound is just amazing. There's a thing called docked, and this is stocky. And I know you guys want to hear a sound test, so I'll give you guys a sound test. The keyboard overall just sounds amazing. Makes it, I mean, it's pretty durable. If you pick it up, it's some heavy plastic, but it has dampening layers in there that makes the keyboard a little heavier, and it just gives it a stylish look. You can change the color on it if you'd like. You can change it, keep it just LED, whatever the case may be. I know when I took it straight out the box, I started clicking on it, and I love it personally. Now, to pair with that, I do have the Logitech MX Master. I think personally, this is the best productivity mouse hits on the market currently. It is so intuitive. It has its own app, and you're able to literally configure the mouse however you like, whatever is comfortable for you. Now, I have dealt with a lot of mouses in my day. The Apple mouse, a Satechi mouse, and it hurts my wrist personally. The Logitech, I have not, it doesn't hurt my wrist at all. It is a very comfortable mouse, and you are able to actually go into the Logitech app and configure anything that you like. So it has many different buttons, dials, whatever you want to do, mess with the DPI, however you want to, whatever you want to do, that mouse can do it for you. And alongside it all, it does have its own bolt receiver. The bolt receiver by Logitech is a great thing because I have like zero latency. It's a great mouse. I love my keyboard and mouse setup. I don't see myself changing it at all. It sits on a nice brown desk mat. And like I said, the desk mat is, it's another one of those things that are a budget-friendly option. It's not no high-tier leather that came from that cab that they did. No, it's not all that, you know what I mean? It's just a simple brown leather mat with keyboard and mouse. The mouse is probably the most expensive one, but that's one of the mouse that you will keep for a long time, and it's pretty durable, honestly. And while we're on the topic about keyboard and mouse, I did decide to get a USB switcher. The reason why I got a USB switcher was mainly because I needed something to switch between my desktop and my MacBook. So say I got my desktop up and running, and I also have my MacBook doing a video on the side, right? I needed something to eliminate having a keyboard for a MacBook, keyboard for my desktop, mouse for my MacBook, mouse for my desktop. So that's when I came across UGREEN's USB switcher. It is just a simple little device that you plug in whatever you need in there, which in this case I have keyboard and I also have my mouse. My keyboard is wired in there because I don't like to have any latency with my keyboard. It's probably the most frustrating thing ever, and especially whenever the battery dies. I just don't like to deal with that. My MX Master mouse, like I said, that bolt receiver has very little latency, if not any, and I have no problems with the battery health. The battery is very long on that mouse, so I have no issues with it at all. And whenever I click on the USB switcher, it just simply goes from my desktop over to my MacBook, vice versa. Super easy for those who have, you know, two PCs that they're working off of, whether it's one's for editing and one is for gaming, whatever the case may be. then a USB switcher might be something that you want to look into, so you don't have to have, you know, several keyboard and mouse. You know what I mean? Now, one thing that I needed for my MacBook was a USB dock, because, you know, everything nowadays just all has USB-C. There's not really USB-A ports on MacBooks anymore. So I got a USB dock, only because I needed something to take my USB switcher, plug it into for my MacBook. I just went with UGREENs as well. I say I have a lot of Anker products, but UGREEN is also stamped as well. I have some UGREEN products that I use around the house, and they're pretty good. I stamp them as well. I mean, a simple USB dock you plug into the MacBook, and you have a USB Thunder port as well as an HDMI. Also, you have an Ethernet port that you can plug the Ethernet in, you know what I mean? And then also some USB-A ports, because like I said, there's not USB-A ports on a MacBook, and there's some things in this world that still use USB-A ports. Don't know why, but come on. Now the speakers. The speakers is something that I honestly didn't want to spend too much money on. I don't use speakers often. I mean, I do whenever I watch YouTube videos or something, but when it comes to like actually listening to things, I will just rather put on my AirPod Maxes, because if I'm going to listen to something, I want it to be on my ear personally. Now, that could be different for you, and that could be something you put in your budget. But me, I just got some simple Wally World speakers. If you know Wally World, you know, ain't nothing crazy. I probably spent about $10 on them. So it does the job. It makes it look clean. Honestly, I like the color of the speaker. I like the way it sits on the desk, and it looks fairly nice. I like it. Does justice for me. Next are my monitors. Now, I don't have any crazy monitors. I just have two 27-inch monitors. One is ViewSonic, the other one is LG. The LG one is my gaming monitor, so it has 240 hertz, 1 millisecond delay response time, whatever you call it, and I use it as my gaming monitor. Now, I do think a dual monitor setup works best for me. I keep thinking of ideas of how can I make a one monitor setup work, and it just doesn't work for me. I think a dual monitor setup is great. I was able to somehow make it look somewhat nice and neat, and make it not look too tacky looking on the desk while still making it a little more minimalistic. But what I might do in the future is get two of the same monitors, because although they're both 27 inches, the bezels are a bit different on there. So like one is thicker than the other, so it may still look like they're not both 27 inches, but we'll see what I do in the future. But as of right now, we're gonna stick with two 27-inch monitors, because I already spent the bag on the setup, you know what I mean? One thing that I, didn't spend a lot of money on, because I kind of have it already, is just, my chair. It's nothing crazy. It's not one of the most expensive chairs out there. It's actually probably another one of those budget options, but I've had this for a while now. It squeaks a little bit. You could probably hear it and stuff like that, but it does justice for me. And if I have a sit-stand desk, there's some times where I'm standing anyway, so the chair does good for me. If I start to feel like I need to stand up, then that's what that sit-stand desk for. I can lay low, come up, you know what I mean? I mean, my chair is nice. I can drop it in the description as well if you guys are interested, but it's nothing crazy. I also have a little cushion right here on the bottom where, just a little gel cushion. Make sure, just to make sure that my tush is nice and comfy, you know what I mean? Make sure that my bosom isn't freaking, hurting and stuff like that. But overall, I mean, it's just a simple chair that has, some lumbar support, headrest, and things of such, nothing too crazy. A bunch of other little accessories that I have on my desk are just, like souvenirs, or like a phone holder that I have, and lights, holders, things like that. I mean, it's nothing too crazy. At that point, that's up to your discretion whether you want that type of stuff on your desk. Me, I was able to find a way to the monitorizer, as well as putting it on the side, just kind of make use of the space that I have, because 72 inches is large. I didn't realize how big it was whenever I took it out of the box, and my God, actually not even when I took it out of the box, when they came on my porch, you know what I mean? Like, I had to pick that thing up. Mind you, I'm 5'8", so I ain't nothing big. I also got some dinosaur arms, so I had to carry that bamboo desk and bring it around and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's a very durable desk. I mean, I like it. Whenever you put it at max height, I mean, it does wobble a little bit, but that's because there's a lot of weight on the back end. So whenever you're on the other side, typing, whatever the case may be, there is a little bit of wobble, but that ain't nothing. I think that's just going to be with pretty much all these desks out here, that, whenever you put a lot of weight, especially if you have a dual monitor setup that's on the back end of the desk, it's going to wobble on the backside. So that's just inevitable, unless you get like some big, like 1.75 inch butcher wood, then you probably won't have wobble. And maybe if you get like a commercial grade frame, which we're not even going to worry about any of that. Moral discussion: whenever you have it at max height, you're going to expect some wobble. and that's just how it is. That's pretty much the desk setup as a whole. I just wanted to share with you guys, you know, my desk setup that I changed from, it can change drastically, to be honest with you. If you guys see the before and after pictures, like, it is insane. I absolutely love this desk setup. I fully recommend it. But one thing to keep in mind is what you need and your budget. Like I said, I'm not sponsored or anything like that, so it's easy for a YouTuber to say, hey, go buy Flexispot's E8 desk that was gifted to me, by the way. Go buy it and spend all this money, or go buy Uplift, spend all this money. That's not the case at all. There are many other budget options out there that I'll put in the description for you guys that you can at least explore. Look at reviews, whatever the case may be. Obviously, up to your own discretion if you want to purchase it or not. I can stamp this one that I got. I'll put this one in the description as well. I think the bamboo just adds a really nice look to it. It's nice. I mean, it's simple and it's minimalistic, and it makes my room look better, as well as creates a lot more space. If you have a setup like mine where there's a bunch of stuff that you plan on putting on there, you have to go 72 by 30. I think 72 by 30 is a perfect size. It is huge, so it's going to suck like if we move or something like that, but I think it's a perfect size, and you know, perfect. You know what I mean? Not too crazy. But I'll make sure I put everything in the description. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you guys think that my desk setup is trash. All jokes aside, I hope you liked the video. I hope it gives you guys useful information, or at least gives you an idea how you want to build your setup. Mind you, just do it. If this is something that you really want to do, if you want to change things in your life, just go ahead and do it. This is something that I have been hanging on for a long time, and I took advantage of Black Friday, and I got all the stuff that I needed to completely revamp my room, honestly. I literally changed my room from top to bottom. I organized everything. Everything looks nice and neat, and I'm just happy with so much space and how minimalistic my desk setup is. If you want to move away from an L-shaped desk and go to more standing desk style, I highly recommend it. I still use this. I use the standing desk. A lot of people say that they don't, but I use the standing desk quite often, because there are times where, even right now, there are times where my back be hurting and I want to stand up, and I also have a little bit of ADHD. I'm sure I'm not diagnosed with it, but I'm gonna diagnose myself, because who's gonna say that I'm not? You know what I mean? You feel me? I think it's a great move. If this is something that you want to pull trigger on, obviously, don't spend your life savings on it. Don't spend a bunch of money that you don't have on it. Be aware of your budget. Be aware of what you need, and just go from there. Always keep in mind you can upgrade in the future. So if you go with just a regular sit-stand desk, it's about 200, 300 bucks. Because I think that's about the lowest you can go. That's actually like at least good looking stand desk that's functional. Then that's what you can afford at the time. And if you want to upgrade later, you can always do that. This one was probably about like $500 after the coupon. So it's nothing crazy. I wouldn't say it's budget, because it's not technically budget, but it definitely is good quality for the price that I spent on it. Very easy to set up, like I said, in a lot of space, and you can see by the bamboo, it looks very nice. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you guys have any desk setups that you have in mind. Put in the comment section. I always like to interact with you guys, and yeah, see you guys soon. Let me know what you guys think about this. I spent a lot of time. It took me like 4 hours total for at least the cable management minimum. Like, dog, that stuff was crazy. But I'll catch y'all.